Well, score one major victory for Alec Baldwin in the Rust case.
And can I say, and a huge misstep by the prosecutor. It's shocking.
So
it is shocking.
We told you that Alec Baldwin had filed a motion basically asking the judge to dismiss one of the charges against him, a charge that by the law in New Mexico, which you would assume the DA is very familiar with, under the law there, he should not have been facing this charge.
So here's the deal. Alec Baldwin has been charged with involuntary manslaughter. There is an enhancement charge that they filed, and the enhancement charge involves the use of a firearm. And the reason that's so important is that if he got convicted on both manslaughter and the enhancement, he'd have a mandatory 5 years in prison. When we saw this was filed initially, we did some research and found out that the law, the firearms enhancement law that the DA was using, was passed after the Rust shooting. You couldn't charge him with the existing law at the time of the shooting because it didn't apply. So they used this enhancement law after the fact. You can't do that.
And Alec Baldwin and his lawyers saw this, and they pointed it out.
A first-year law student wouldn't do this.
That's what's so bizarre about it.
It's called ex post facto. You cannot charge somebody for something that wasn't a crime when they committed the act. And that's what happened here.
And Harvey, it wasn't even close. The act that they were trying to charge under passed in May of 2022. This
7 months.
Is from, yes,
7 months after the shooting.
Now, there was an old version of the gun enhancement statute that said if you brandish the firearm while you're committing the offense, that was the law that was in place. But you can't pin that to Alec Baldwin because nobody says he brandished the firearm with the intent to
threatening man, right?
Give the definition of brandishing.
Yeah, brandishing has to be displaying the firearm with the intent to injure someone else, and no one is saying that he brandished this in a way intending to injure Helena Hutchins.
So the law that passed 7 months later took away the brandishing part, just so you could automatically use a firearms enhancement. The thing is, that law shouldn't apply to Alec Baldwin because the law wasn't in existence at the time the shooting happened. So why the DA did this?
Why it ended up being one of the charges that he's facing. By the way, they dropped it also for the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez.
But I got to tell you, this is what a first-year law student learns. Derek, am I wrong here?
No, this is very basic stuff. Ex post facto is in the Constitution. You really have to do your homework. It seems to me like an oversight, but you're thinking that it could possibly be like they're trying to overcharge him, right?
This was, they researched this for months and months and months, and the DA was saying, we're investigating. It took forever. This is not something that escaped them, that they're using a law. They knew this, Derek.
So
I mean, you can't say this is an oversight.
Either an intentional attempt to overcharge.
They're trying to squeeze it in.
Or I hate to use the word, but incompetence to put in something that you very clearly can't charge him with. Well, neither one looks good.
I want to go one step further. It feels like they just want to nail this guy and that they're just reaching for anything. To reach for this is absurd to me. But I will say that now that they've dropped it and it's an involuntary manslaughter charge, Derek, my understanding is the judge could do anything if he gets convicted from probation to 18 months. But probation is now on the table for him, even if he gets convicted.
That's absolutely right. He faces between 0 and 18 months, and what 0 means is if he's convicted, they can give him just probation at the end of the day, so he may never see time behind bars. This is a dramatic shift in the case.
Whereas with the enhancement, he could have gotten up 5 years.
No, not could have.
It was mandatory.
Mandatory 5 years. So that's why there's some rotten in Denmark.
This is April from Atlanta. I definitely feel as though maybe it could be they're reaching, or I hate to say this, maybe they knew the fact that they will not be able to stand in any courtroom, especially in the state of where this law occurred, that it will even move forward. So I don't know if it's some type of manipulation, some type of sabotage. It's just weird.
It would be weird for them to
totally
self-sabotage.
I got to tell you, I have had issues with this prosecution for a long time now that they're prosecuting him for manslaughter. I think this is a sign that this case could implode. I really do.